Hi, it's Doug from Rise Above Performance Training. Today we're going to address the adductor muscles of the hip. So those are all the inside groin muscles. Now, a lot of people have tight groin muscles, and this can cause problems in sports. Most sports, you're going to, especially with any type of lateral movement, soccer, stretching for baseball, reaching for a catch in football. If you don't have good groin flexibility, you can pull it, number one. Number two, if you walk around with tight groins, you also can throw off the hips. So the hips will be really tight in, the legs will be bowed out, you can have back problems. You can also have misalignment of the hips. When you jump and land, that can cause some problems, some shearing forces in the knee if it's really bad. So today we're going to do a test to see if your hip adductors are tight. You're going to see a good example on me. I have my left side is very tight, and I've been working on it for a while, but it comes and goes, so today it's pretty tight. But also, you'll see on the other side it's a little bit better. And then more on the other segments, we'll talk about how to correct it a little bit with some foam rolling and some exercises, and then also how to strengthen it. So the test we're going to do is the FABER test, and the FABER is just an acronym for flexion of the hip, abduction, which is bringing the leg out, and external rotation. It's basically a figure 4 on the ground. So I'll show you that now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lie on the ground. I'm going to get really flat. And then I'm going to flex my hip, abduct it, that's bringing it away from my body. And then I'm going to rest my ankle just above my knee, and that's the external rotation of the hip. Now, I want to let it relax. I don't want to move my hip around to get this low. I just want to let this leg drop as low as I can. So a good indication that your adductors are all right and loose and ready to play is if this front shin is parallel. So I kind of feel it a little bit tight, so I think it's just above parallel. It's probably not exactly parallel, so it means it's a little bit tight, not too bad in comparison to my other one. So when I show you my other one, do the same thing, drop it down. As you can see, this one is definitely above parallel. I feel actually a little pulling up here too, so it's throwing off my hip alignment. So this one's tight, and we need to address this. If I didn't address it and kept it tight for a long time and I went to go play sports, I could probably have a serious injury down the road. So we want to take care of this as best we can and address it within each of our workouts. So in the next phase, I'll show you how to mobilize it and foam roll it. All right, if you determined you have tight hip adductor muscles, we're going to do a little foam rolling to correct that and kind of get it loose. And it's great to do before training, even after training, to kind of relax those muscles and get them to loosen up and have a better test. So what you're going to do is take a foam roller. You can take a large one. I like the small one, especially for the inside of the leg. And you're just going to place it down. Not too difficult. You're going to have it on the inside of the leg. You can bend your knee a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll from the top of my knee into the groin. Now be very careful you don't pinch anything vital. Just slide back. When you feel a little bit of a knot or anything that's a little bit tight, you can hold it there for a little bit. Roll out. And up. I feel a little tightness right here, so I'm going to hold and roll out. And then you can just get the other side. I'll check my side to see if there's a difference. Usually this leg won't be as bad as the other one in terms of the knots and the tightness. A little bit in there, but not too bad. The second one I found to be really useful is a little bit of mobility, kind of a stretch. So get a mat if you have a hard time. What you're going to do is you're going to rest one knee right here, and you're going to have your other leg out. I like to have a nice flat foot. And also make sure that the knee is kind of lined up and tracking it. You don't want to rotate the knee in too much because it can cause a little bit of pain. So I'll show both angles. I'll show from the front and then the side. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to keep my chest up and I'm going to rock my hip back. I don't want to overstretch. I just want to stretch it just enough to mobilize it. And hopefully I'm a little bit looser than when I first started. If I go to the other side and check, see if there's a difference. Stretch this out. In the next segment, I'll show you how to strengthen it and also mobilize it at the same time. Okay, so in the final phase, we're going to show you how to strengthen and also mobilize at the same time. So these exercises go hand in hand together. The good news is most of the mobilization and to help the adductors get a little bit looser are basic exercises that we all do for our legs. Squats, lunge variations, and I'm going to show you some of my favorites. The first one is a goblet squat. We're going to take a kettlebell. Now, if you're going to mobilize, you don't need a whole lot of weight or strength. You can throw these in kind of the beginning of the workout to kind of get everything loose and set up your other leg movements. So the goblet squat, you're just going to hold it close to you. Bring your feet a little wide on our shoulders. You can turn your toes slightly out or keep them straight. And then you do your basic squat, sitting back, and also very important, pushing the knees out. This not only lines the knees properly, but it also opens up the adductors. So as I drop down, I'm going to push my knees out. And I'm just going to get to my end range here without falling forward. When I feel myself falling forward, that's when I stop. It might be a little shallow in the beginning, but as I go along, I'll be able to get a little bit better. Also, what helps is think about pulling your butt to your calves. So as I'm going down, I am literally pulling my hips through, pausing. I like to pause and open up. I can even use my elbows to pry it open and come back up. Another option for the squat is you can do a little bit of a kettlebell swing in here, make sure you have a flat back, and then you can kind of pull it through and sit in here. Stand up to get a little bit of a hamstring stretch, take the tension off the back, and sit through again. Up and back. So one lunge variation that I like too is a pretty common one that you've probably seen around the internet, is a pretty long range lunge by stepping forward and also dropping the elbow inside the knee. Some people call it the Spider-Man lunge. And there's several variations of Spider-Man lunge. I'll just show you the basic. So what you can do is step forward, drop down, and stretch this arm inside. So I'm going to stretch out these adductors. And at the same time, I'm pushing out a little bit on that front leg to stretch it out. Come back up, drop down, stretching out the other side, and coming back up. The whole time you want to keep your hips stable. Don't let the hips fall. This is a mobility drill, and open up the hips. The last one I'm going to do, cross hack squat, is basically doing a lateral lunge. Now there's a few ways to do this. I personally, especially if I'm working on the adductor muscles, I like to keep my foot flat. Some people drop down and do more of a martial arts style and have their leg up. I found it doesn't stretch out my adductors much. I get a little bit more of the hamstring. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stretch out and I'm going to push out and kind of make separation here. So I'm going to push out, stretch out only to where I feel some tension, and I'm going to shift my weight and push to the other side. I like to pause for a second and then slide over here. And as I go, I feel like I can get a little bit lower. Remember to stabilize before you go to the next one. And hopefully you're able to get a little more range of motion out of it and a little more stretch. So there you have it. Try those out. Throw those in at the beginning of your workout and get the hip adductors loose. And hopefully this helps you out when you're playing your sports and you minimize your injuries. So let me know what you think, and if you have any other muscle groups that you want me to address, I'd be happy to do it. Just let me know. Thanks.